My daughter was born on November 2nd, 2006, and it became one of the most happiest days of our life. It also became one of the worst days of our life. She was born, we had no idea what was wrong with her. We were basically led to another hospital where another doctor told us everything that was wrong with her daughter.
6 hours after birth, we were shipped to another hospital, telling us that if we didn't go, she wasn't going to make it. So we loaded up and off we went, the family and I. When we made it there, they started examining her, put her up to oxygen immediately. They told us there was a lot of things wrong with her. And it just kept piling on, one thing after another. It's almost like it wouldn't stop.
She's born with several different medical problems, mainly her heart. She ended up having to have 4 open heart surgeries in the span of 5 years.
She ended up having her first open heart surgery when she was 6 days old. Her second open heart surgery, it was planned, she was 5 months old. Her surgeon, had out the paddles. They were ready to use the paddles on her. But instead, the surgeon's like, no, wait. He used his finger and massaged her heart. He's a gift from God. Several years later, her next open heart surgery had came. This was planned. She had complications. They didn't think she was going to make it. We called in the family. Within 30 hours later, she had her 4th open heart surgery. She went through multi-organ failure, hooked up to feeding tube. We were in the hospital for the whole summer. I lived at the hospital. It was hard on Dad. He had to go back to work, to help survive, pay bills, make sure we had a roof over our head, food to eat. So he went back to work. It was worth it. We still have Briana. We'd do it all over again to keep her. She needed to know, we were there for her the whole time.
I like to think of myself as a strong man, but my daughter is so much stronger than me. My daughter is very unique. She was to come into the room. She has one of the brightest smiles that you could ever want out of a daughter. One of the sweetest, most loving daughters in the world.
She's 8 years old now. She's went through more than most kids have ever went through. She's unique in many ways. She's very outgoing, very playful. She understands more now than a lot of kids could ever learn.
But thanks to the research and stuff that the American Heart Association gives, they've been able to come up with procedures that saved my daughter's life. I love her with all my heart. I don't know what I'd do without her these days. Just to see her every morning smile and call me father and dad and tell me she loves me. I don't know what more to say about my daughter besides the fact that she's just the most wonderful little girl in the world. And the story doesn't end here. One day my daughter will need a heart transplant. I just hope that it all goes well. She's been through so much that I just want her to stay as long as possible and be with me and her mother and her sisters. And if you ever met my daughter, you would truly see that we are so blessed to have had a daughter like this. Heart disease is the #1 killer of all Americans, and 1 in every 100 babies is born with a congenital heart defect.
If we don't continue to fund life-saving research and fight for our loved ones, many of these babies won't live to see their first birthdays.
I'm proud to say the American Heart Association funds more pediatric cardiac research than any U.S. organization outside the federal government.
Our generosity will help save lives. Research matters. Funding matters. Our future matters.
To me it does. To Briana it does. And for that, we say thank you.